Okay, so I'm at Canterbury College today, and I'm with Nicole Cook. And Nicole is, what job is it?
I'm a network engineer in a computer support team.
Okay, and how long have you been here?
3.5 years now.
And when you first came to the college, what kind of position were you in?
I started off as an apprentice in level 2 position, and then I did that for 1.5 years. And at the same time as I progressed on to my level 3 apprenticeship, I got taken on in a network position.
So Nicole, what would you say is your day-to-day duties?
My main roles are looking after the backups, the phone system, the switches which all the end devices connect to, and the Wi-Fi.
And how many people do you think you support?
We have about 10,000 students, including all the part-time ones, and 2,000 staff members across both sites.
Okay, and when you say across both sites, is one of those sites remote?
We have another campus in Sheppey, which is about a 45-minute drive away, and we have 3 smaller outreach centres now as well that we also support.
You have an internet link to Sheppey.
Yes.
And does that enable you to remotely support Sheppey?
Yes, it does. We've got one engineer who goes between all those sites, but because of the time it takes for them to get to them, we can also remote in, fix PCs, switches and everything, as long as they've got a connection at the time. Okay,
so barring an internet outage,
yeah,
then you can do almost everything remotely?
Yes, yes I can.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. And what about the main site here in Canterbury? Can you do everything remotely here?
Yep, we can. So our campus is fairly large, and we've got another little site about a 10-minute walk away, but save going down there, we can access everything remotely as well if we need to.
Okay, and this remote site, it's about 5-10 minute walk,
yes,
so it's still in Canterbury. And how do you connect to it? Do you have some sort of data connection to that site?
We've got a point-to-point wireless link which is on the roof of this building and the roof of the other building, and it's just wireless connection between both that connects back to our core. Okay,
I'm on the roof of Canterbury College with Nicole, and we're up here to have a look at the college's point-to-point wireless system. Now Nicole, this is like a Wi-Fi transmitter, yeah? Is that correct?
Yes, it is. It's a point-to-point link that wirelessly transmits to the other point over there. Tiny little white circle in the distance. It's got a nice, clear sight of view to transfer data.
So it's got to have a clear line of sight.
Yes, this particular one does. But it's got a massive range on it, and it can go much further than we can with it. Obviously, this is what we need.
So that wirelessly feeds that building its network connection for the college.
And we've got quite a lot over there, and then this end connects just like any other device across the whole college into a data point that feeds to the cabs in the room below us.
To the server room that we looked at.
Yep, and then back down to our core server room, yeah.
Wow. I just want to ask you about the structure, the overall structure of the network here at the college. Perhaps you could describe the structure going from the server room.
Okay, we have about 14 blocks on the college, which are all on their own VLAN. So all the end devices connect to a cab room per block, which will have several switches in each one. And then there's fibre links going from each of those cab rooms into our main call centre.
So from your main server room, you've got a core switch.
Yes, we do.
And the data is distributed by fibre.
Yeah. To
all 14 blocks.
Yes.
Now you mentioned VLANs.
Yeah.
Can you just describe briefly what a VLAN is?
It stands for virtual LAN, and that's all I know how to describe it as.
All right, we'll ignore that bit. So you mentioned earlier that you had 10,000 students.
Yeah.
So where is all their data stored?
We have 3 different servers, one for all the staff members, one for the Canterbury students, and one for the Sheppey staff and students, which are all stored on the SAN.
Now you mentioned one of your responsibilities was for the phone system.
Yeah.
What type of phone system do you have here?
We have a MyTel phone system.
Okay, so do you have, is it like an old BT system?
Nope, they're IP phones, so all the data travels across the network.
Okay, so if I was to have a look at this phone here,
Yep.
And then I guess on the back, would there be...
Yes, there is. So this is just a standard network cable going into the back, into one of the ports, and then you can also connect the PC into the back of the phone for it to get its network.
I see, so the phone actually plugs straight into the network.
Yep.
And then optionally the PC can then plug into the phone.
Yes, it does. Save you having to use 2 points for it.
So these are all the VoIP handsets, or
Yep.
these are some of the VoIP
And you
handsets.
can just search the different users up here.
I see.
And then all the configurations done down below, stuff on the side. But there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, it looks like it. So you can alter every single phone.
Yep, from here.
Can you have a look at your phone, that top one?
You've got the number down here, the type of handset you've got here.
So if you wanted to change your number, you could literally type in a new number there
Yep,
and click save,
and it would be.
and away you go.
Yes.
So I'm in the Canterbury College server room with Nicole. Nicole, can you just tell me how the internet comes into the college?
Yep. This is our main router that connects to the outside world. Then links to this. Then to this, which is our firewall. And then this bit down here is our call switch.
That's your core switch, that big grey
Yes,
mass
all
down
of
there.
this down here. So these are the fibre cables that connect up to here and here. And as you can see the labels, each of these goes into one block. So these are different fibre links for each block, which then connect all of the switches to our core.
Okay, that's wonderful. So, so everything connects back down to your core switch.
Yeah, everything in the whole college.
Okay, and what is this here? It says MyTel. Is this the phone system?
Yes, it is.
So that is your VoIP phone
Yep,
system.
and then this also connects into the core.
And that connects into the core switch as
Yep.
well. And Nicole, what is this cable that you've got
This
dangling
is
down?
our networking cable. So we've got reels and reels of this run across the college. So all the different points you see, these ones are blank at the moment, but that the computers connect to, that you get in every room and probably at your school as well. You get all this cable runs back to the cabs in each block, which connects to our core. I'm just reinstalling this one at the moment because the location of the PC's moved in this room.
Okay.
There wasn't any data.
I see. So a PC's moved,
Yeah.
and the cable actually runs across the ceiling
Yes, it does.
and then down to the sockets in the wall.
Yeah, in this trunk and along here.
And this is the less glamorous side of what you do.
Yes, it is. Hence all the lovely equipment we've got, all the cuts on my hands, because I'm not wearing my gloves.
Okay, thank you.
So on the side here, we've got a list of all our different subnets and VLANs. So I've gone on one for an example, and it just displays all the switches, how they're connected. If I click on port name, it shows us all the different port names and how they go back to the core.
Okay, so that central larger switch
Yeah.
is the core.
This is.
And we're looking at, I guess, just a small part of the network at the moment.
Yeah, this is just one block.
So can you switch to another block?
Yeah.
I see. So is this all in real time?
Yes, it is.
And are you able to have a look at the stats of any of the switches?
Yeah, if I just click on. There you go. So the green lights are devices that are connected.
So if you wanted to disable a port, you could do that here, I
Yes,
take
I
it.
could.
And if you have a look at the traffic, and this is real-time traffic on that particular switch.
Yep.
And if you need to, you could actually look at switches over in Sheppey. Ah, there we go. That's
So I can
good.
do exactly the
That's
same.
nice.
And look at them.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Okay, so what is this you're showing me now?
This is the management for our Wi-Fi system. So they're called arrays, the units that are up on the ceiling. And we've got 78 up at the moment, 4 down. So if I clicked on them, it would show me the details of all the ones that we've got problems with.
Okay.
And I can also look at every single one and here it shows the model, the software version it's got, the serial number of the device, and all our different details.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's
so
handy.
What can you use this software to do?
Monitor if the arrays are up and down, and do every possible bit of configuration that I can through them.
So rather than going to every single array,
yeah,
you can do
I can,
all of them.
If I've got config changes to do, as long as it's within the same model, I can apply changes to all of these X and 4s in one go rather than individually.
So as long as you split it up by model,
Yep.
then you can do them all in one go.
Yes, that's correct.
All the config changes.
Yep.
That's pretty impressive. So how long does it take to swap an array out using this?
Probably about 20 minutes if I'm going to physically install it as well.
Cool, thank you. Okay, so we've moved down the rack a few metres, and can you just describe to me what we've got down here? These look like important servers.
Yeah. These are some of the servers that we mentioned earlier, some of the file storage. This is the backup server that we also mentioned, and all of these are the disks linked to the backup server, and this down here is the SAN.
Okay, so these are the file servers that the teachers and also the students connect to.
Yeah.
These here. And then you said this is the backup server.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so this server here, that controls all of this storage?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, and it looks like you've got a flashing orange light on that disk there.
That's indicating disk failure for that one, so it's currently needing replacement.
Right, so even though there's a disk failure, the system is able to carry on?
Yes, to a certain extent. I think once it hits 3 disk failures, then it would seriously struggle and we'd have a lot of problems, but with one, it's managing at the moment.
So, well, I'm not going to do it now, but I believe you can, whilst the system's on, you can pull these disks out and replace them. So that must make it really easy for replacing faulty hardware.
Yeah, it does. It stops a lot of downtime on the system. So.
And this is the SAN.
Yeah.
And you have the same or a similar disk system here where you can just pull them out and then slot new disks in should you need to.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, so just tell me what this software is.
This is DPM, which is a Microsoft backup management piece of software. On the left-hand side here, we've got a bunch of our servers, and this is how we recover data if anyone's accidentally deleted it.
Okay, so over on the left you have your list of servers.
Yep.
And then in the main window, what are these?
So if we're doing a recovery, first you need to select the date, which is here. Then as you go down into each server, that's where it displays what's inside of it.
I see, so each server has a schedule of when a backup was taken.
Yes. But this is showing all the data that's actually on the server at the moment.
Right.
So if I wanted to restore something, I could go through into each folder. And then so this is showing items that might not exist, they might have been deleted since the date we're looking at now. Say that was gone, I could then click recover, go through a few little items, and it would appear back where it was originally.
That's pretty impressive. So is that kept on disk?
Yes, I think so.
Okay, cool, thank you.
Yes, it is.
Okay, and we've come right to the end of the rack. And Nicole, can you just explain what's at the end here? What are we looking at here?
This is our backup power supply. So if we get any power outages across the college, this gives us about half an hour on all servers before they'll lose power, so we can try and shut them down more safely so we don't get any data loss or any damage.
So these down here, these are all batteries?
Yeah, all of that is completely batteries.
And I notice you've got fans here.
Yeah, because of the heat of everything that all the devices have got going, this keeps it nice and cool, keeps it overheating.
So this is the hottest part of the server room.
Yes, it is.
And this is where all of the heat is exhausted by the servers.
Yeah. That's why I've got these ceiling roof bits on the top of here, and then the plastic curtains at the end of both bits to try and keep the heat in just here.
So the heat is kept in here, and then it's fed through the fans we saw at the front to cool down.